Hello everyone, I hope you're all doing well. In this video, I would like to share with you what the Quran tells us about the difference between the believers and the submitters, or what in Arabic they call mu'mineen, the difference between the mu'mineen and the Muslimin. So this is really important. This is from Surah 49, verse number 14. It says, قالت الأعراب آمنا. It says, the Arabs said, we believed. So I'm going to highlight this for you. So this is number one. So Arabs are claiming that they are believers, that they are mu'minun, right? So that's what they are claiming. It says, قل, tell them, لم تؤمنوا, you have not believed. ولكن قولوا أسلمنا. It says, tell that you have not believed. So basically, you are not believers, but you are in fact number two. It means you are Muslimun. So you have submitted, but you have not believed yet. Why? And then it gives you the reason. It says, وَلَمَّا يَدْخُلِ الْإِيمَانُ فِي قُلُوبِكُمْ. And the faith has not entered your hearts yet. So this is the answer. This is the definition. This is why they are still a submitter and not a believer, because the faith has not entered their hearts yet. But so what does that mean? Does it mean that they are not good people? What does that mean? No, that's not what it means. In fact, Quran goes ahead and tells us that فَإِن تُطِيعُوا اللَّهَ وَرَسُولَهُ وَإِن تُطِيعُوا اللَّهَ وَرَسُولَهُ لا يلتكم من أعمالكم شيئا. Quran tells us that if you obey Allah and His Messenger, basically the value of what you do will not be decreased. So again, this verse is really important. I'm going to use this verse, this Quranic lesson, as a foundation for us to teach several other very, very important concepts in the Quran that I think you would really benefit from and learn a lot from. But first, you have to learn this. So there are two groups based on what the Quran tells us, right? So the group number one, and this is obviously a very high, I would say, ranking level, is mu'mineen. So these are mu'mineen. So who are mu'mineen? Mu'mineen, these are basically what we call as believers, right? So this is a very high level. Not everyone is in this level. Even at the time of the Prophet, when this verse was revealed to him, you see that there's a group of people who are living with the Prophet, are close to him, but they are not believers, even though they are contemporaries to him. But then there is another group, and these are Muslimin. So these are what we would call someone who has submitted, but they are not believers yet. So the way I would like to describe this is that you could be a Muslim, but still you are not a mu'min. So you could be a submitter, but it doesn't mean that you are necessarily a believer or a mu'min. But if you are a mu'min, if you are a true believer, you are definitely a submitter. So mu'mineen is a higher level than Muslimin. Another good example of submitters, or those who have submitted, are those who are born into Muslim families. Of course, I'm not talking about our current day Muslims, but those who are born into real Muslim families in, let's say, early Islam. Even though they are born into the families of people who practice Islam, it doesn't mean that they are true believers. They're just going through the motions. They might be praying, they might be fasting, but they really have not investigated the faith. They really have not investigated the religion. So the faith has not entered into their hearts. It's not hard set in there. So that's why they are submitters. Uh, whereas people like Ansar and Muhajirin, when Allah talks about them, it says, أُولَٰئِكَ الْمُؤْمِنُونَ حَقًّا. It says, those are the true believers. It's because the faith had entered their hearts. They did everything possible in the way of in the way of God, and that's why they were true believers. So believers are at a much higher level than submitters. So what you see a lot of time, not only in the Muslim community, but also in the Christian community, in the Jewish community, these are submitters to their faith. They are not really believers in their faith. They are not full believers. They just follow the motions. So this is really important. You have to keep that in mind. We have two levels. One is for mu'mineen, the other one is for muslimin. Mu'mineen are again those who are true believers, and muslimin are those who have submitted, but the faith has not entered into their hearts yet. And this is the lesson of this small verse in the Quran, 49:14. Allah is teaching you about these two levels. Thank you for listening, everyone. Stay tuned. Based on this small lesson in the Quran, I am going to, God willing, share with you some even more important lessons from the Quran. But this is really the foundation of those Quranic teachings and lessons. Ma salam. Be safe wherever you are.